The helicopter's blades sliced through the humid air as Emily Carter was bound and tossed into the simulation chamber like discarded cargo. "You're just a civilian," they sneered, "not cut for real ops." A drone whirred above, its infrared beam grazing her back, and a voice crackled in the control room. "Hold up. Zoom in." The monitor lit up with her tattoo, a pair of shattered hawk eyes, a mark only one man alive had ever seen. General Raymond Holt stood, his face drained of color. My God, that's V9. They'd just humiliated the sole survivor of the bloodiest covert mission in military history. Emily Carter stepped onto the Arizona Black Sands training facility in July 2027, her boots grinding against sun-scorched gravel under a sky that blazed like a furnace. The base was a labyrinth of steel razor wire coiled like venomous snakes, watchtowers glaring down like executioners, drones buzzing like restless hornets. At 31, her auburn hair was pulled into a loose knot, her face free of makeup, her plain uniform marked only by a tag, civilian trainee. One of 20 outsiders in a rare program blending civilians with technical expertise into elite soldier training, she was a mystery. Her file? Empty. No degrees, no skills, no trace. To the others, she was a glitch, someone who'd sneaked in through favors or a paperwork mix-up. They didn't know her real mission: to dissect the base's live security, probe every flaw, and test its resilience against a genuine assault. Emily wasn't a civilian. She was a phantom from the Eclipse unit, a shadow group so classified it existed only in whispers. Beneath her shirt, hidden from view, was the tattoo of hawk eyes with broken wings, a scar from a mission that still sent chills through the Pentagon's highest ranks. On day one, under a relentless Arizona sun, the other trainees sized her up and discarded her. They were a rugged bunch: soldiers with calloused fists, coders with egos sharper than their keyboards, scientists who spoke like they'd already claimed Nobel Prizes. Emily didn't belong. She stood quiet, her delicate features unreadable, her plain uniform hanging loose on her slight frame. Jake Ramsey, a lean programmer with a permanent sneer, leaned toward his buddy and said, loud enough for all, "What's she doing here? Filing paperwork. We're just lost." Laughter cut through the heat like a blade. Emily didn't blink, her gaze fixed on distant red cliffs, hands relaxed at her sides. Captain Nathan Bryce, a grizzled man with a temper that could ignite gasoline, barked, "Carter, step back. You're not in this drill." She nodded, moved aside, and watched the others march off, their boots kicking up clouds of dust. Nobody noticed her eyes tracing their steps, counting gaps in their sloppy formation like a predator mapping prey. The next morning, they let her join a basic tactical drill, simple rifle loading, nothing serious. They handed her a standard-issue rifle, and her hands moved slowly, deliberately clumsy. The magazine slipped, clattering to the dirt. She bent to retrieve it, then slid it in backward. The squad groaned, eyes rolling. Jake snorted, "Can't even load a gun." Bryce stormed over, veins bulging in his neck. "This isn't a TV show, Carter. Go fold laundry, wasting our time." Laughter erupted, harsh and dry. Emily's face stayed blank. "Sorry, sir. Won't happen again," she said, her voice soft but edged with steel. Bryce faltered for a split second, then waved her off. "Get out of my sight." She stepped back, boots steady, her eyes flicking over the rifle's weight, its flaws, its balanced mastered weapons like this in chaos, under gunfire, with blood on her hands. The fumble was no mistake, it was a test. She was cataloging weaknesses: Bryce's temper, Jake's loudmouth ego, the squad's careless gaps. She filed it all away, her calm a perfect mask. At the water station that afternoon, Emily filled a battered canteen as Lauren Mitchell, a chemist with a smile dripping venom, sauntered over with her clique. "Emily, sweetie, you look so out of place. Did you wander in from a yard sale?" Her friends giggled, one tugging at her own sleeve to mock Emily's plain uniform. Emily capped her canteen slowly, her eyes steady. "I'm fine where I am." The words were simple, but they hit like a slap, making Lauren's smile twitch. As they walked off, Ethan Cole, a broad-shouldered soldier, tossed a crumpled bottle at her feet. "Pick it up, civilian. You're good at cleaning, right?" The group's laughter faded into the heat. Emily bent, dropped the bottle in the trash, her fingers tightening briefly on the canteen strap, her face unreadable but her mind racing with their flaws. In the mess hall, Emily sat alone, eating plain oatmeal. Lauren leaned over, her voice syrupy but sharp. "This program's for skilled people, Emily. What's your deal? Dropped out of community college." Jake piled on. "What's your degree?" "Arts and crafts." The table erupted, their laughter a knife in the air. Emily paused, spoon midair, and said, "I'm here to learn." Her calm voice silenced the room for a moment. Lauren muttered, "Charity case," her smile cracking. Emily noted Lauren's badge number, her nervous twitch, every detail stored like ammunition. During a navigation drill, Jake handed her a map with a smirk. "Don't get us lost, okay? Need a kid's GPS." Olivia Grant, a sharp-tongued data analyst, chimed in. "Maybe draw us a picture instead." Emily studied the map, then pointed to a canyon. "This is the fastest route." Jake scoffed, snatching it back. "That's a dead end. Stick to holding paper." He redrew the route, and the team followed. 30 minutes later, they hit the exact dead end she'd warned about. Jake tossed the map at her feet. "Trying to make us look bad, genius?" She folded it neatly. "You picked the route." Her eyes held his until he looked away, muttering curses. That night, Emily sat on a bench outside the barracks, watching drones patrol the perimeter. Their patterns were too predictable, gaps glaring. A memory flashed crouching in a hostile compound, slipping through drone nets under a moonless sky. She pulled a small notebook from her pocket, flipping to a faded sketch of hawk eyes, then tucked it away as a trainee passed, smirking. "Nail file?" he asked, eyeing her lockpick. "Something like that," she said, noting his key card standard issue, easily duplicated. Another flaw in the base's armor. The following week, Bryce decided to make an example of her. During a patrol drill, Emily stood slightly off position. "Useless, Carter," he roared. "Can't follow basic orders? You're out." Smirks spread among the trainees. He pointed to the armory. "Go clean it. Maybe you're good for something." Snickers followed as she walked off, shoulders square, steps measured. The armory was a steel fortress, rifles lined up, scopes glinting, a hidden bioweapons cache behind a coded door. In 2 minutes, she memorized it all: scope placements, trigger serials, cache location. She'd breached deadlier vaults in places where one misstep meant death. When Bryce checked in, she was polishing a rifle. "Done, Carter." "Almost, sir," she said, her eyes lingering on the coded lock. During a night drill, Emily was assigned lookout duty. Olivia handed her a broken radio, grinning. "Good luck calling for help, civilian." They left her at a remote post, wind screaming through the desert. A coyote howled in the distance. The radio was dead, as she'd expected. She adjusted her stance, scanning the dark, noting the team's exposed path. By dawn, they returned, lost and furious. "Your radio failed us," Ethan shouted. She held up the broken device. "It was broken when you gave it." Their faces tightened, unease creeping in. In a briefing, Olivia presented a firewall analysis. "It's secure." "Not that you'd get it, Carter," she sneered. Laughter grated. Emily raised her hand. "Your firewall's open at the secondary port. Been that way for 48 hours. Silence. Olivia scoffed. "Impossible." A tech checked, his face paling. "She's right." Olivia muttered, "Lucky guess." But Emily's eyes caught the tech's trembling hands. Another weak link. During a live-fire drill, Emily handed out ammo. Ethan dropped a clip in the dirt. "Oops. Clean it, civilian." Snickers rose. She brushed off the dirt, handed it back. "Don't drop it again," she said, her voice low and firm. His grin vanished. The laughter faltered. She resumed work, noting their sloppy aim, their exposed flanks. In the barracks, Emily turned a lockpick in her hands, a tool that had cracked systems far tougher than this base's. A trainee smirked. "Nail file?" "Something like that," she said, eyeing his key card. She'd already mapped every access point, her comm masking a plan taking shape. During a supply task, Lauren accidentally spilled tools at Emily's feet. "Clumsy me." "Clean it up, Carter. It's your thing." Laughter stung. Emily knelt, stacking tools neatly, her silence louder than their taunts. Lauren's smile wavered as Emily's unflinching gaze met hers. Late one night, Emily reviewed security logs. A tech left a console open, exposing a backdoor in the code. She typed a command, closing it. The tech returned, startled. How'd you? She shrugged. It was open. Her comm hid her expertise. In a rescue drill, Captain Marcus Tate assigned Emily as the hostage. Real ropes bit into her wrists as they shoved her into a locked room. A rookie, Tyler Evans, triggered a live drone by mistake. It sprayed coolant gas, tearing her shirt on a hook. Infrared light caught her tattoo on the control room screen. Zoom in, a tech shouted. General Holt stood, pale. That's V9. He knew the Eclipse unit massacred only one survivor, V9. They'd humiliated her. Tate stormed in, furious. Exposing skin? Disgrace. Holt roared, stop. She's under top-tier orders. Silence fell. Emily stood, unbound. Her gaze silencing Jake's apology, Lauren fleeing pale, Tyler trembling. Holt whispered, why didn't you say? Orders, sir, she replied, ropes falling. Guilt clouded his face. The base buzzed as Emily walked through, her plain uniform unchanged. Tables hushed. Tate was reassigned. Jake's clique dissolved. They'd crossed a legend. In the control center, now in a combat uniform with a V9 patch, Emily ordered a lockdown, exposing 19 radar blind spots. Systems scrambled. Holt watched, silent. The base tightened. Emily left, bag packed, into the blazing sun. Her story lingered. Judged, dismissed, she stood tall. Truth spoke. What would you do if you were Emily, hiding your truth to expose others' flaws? Would you forgive those who humiliated you, or let their shame burn? Drop your thoughts below, hit like, and follow for more stories of betrayal and redemption.